All right, so let's find those feet for a second. Maybe wiggle them out. And get them underneath your hip points, all 10 toes shooting forward. And then let's take a second to really ground our foot into the ground. So I want you to think about 3 points on your foot, your big toe, pinky toe, and heel. And let's really try to evenly sink that weight into the ground. So you don't feel like you're too far forward on your toes or too far back on your heels. You're really spreading that weight evenly. Maybe bend your knees a little bit. And I also want you to check in with really putting 50% effort on each foot. So if you feel, it's very common that we're used to like standing one side, so really try to level out that way. And then let's draw the navel up towards the shoulder blades. And then sometimes our head might feel like it's protruding outward. So I want you to just think about gazing over the horizon, and as if your chin was on a table, you're gonna tuck your chin in like a drawer. So just slide your chin back towards your throat and really feeling the length through the back of the neck. So we're in a nice neutral position. And then let's breathe. So hands on the ribs, seal your mouth, and take that slow inhale in through your nose, allowing your ribs to expand. And when you get to the top, feel that complete relaxation. Maybe your shoulders sink, your knees soften, and you're just gonna let that exhale come out of your nose. And we'll do that 2 more times. Slow inhale in through the nose, really slowing down that pace. When it gets to the top, we're gonna exhale nice and soft out of the nose. And then 1 more of those. And we're just taking a moment to relax the body, check in with ourselves, and keep that breath really nice and calm so we can take that nice soft breath with us through the workout today. Good, and then let's do our energy activation. So arms out in front, let's tap the belly, and just think about waking up your digestive system, waking up the center of your body, just saying hello. As you keep those soft inhales and exhales going. Nice. And then let's rub the belly. Bend the knees, almost like you're on a little trampoline. We're gonna shake those shoulders up and down, soften the knees, and just get that energy flowing here. Good. Shake it all out. And then let's go ahead and let that go. We're gonna take the left palm out, start to pat the chest, bring it down to the hands, get some blood flow to the hands and fingers, and then we're gonna go top of the hand, up to the neck and the shoulder, and then we got that thumb going up. We'll come down to the thumb line, bring it back, and take it underneath to the pinky line. And then bring it down the side of the body and across the chest. And we're taking our right arm out, and then we're gonna give it a clap. And we've got top of the hand up to the neck and the shoulder. Thumb goes up, and we're coming down to the thumb line. And bring it back and underneath to the pinky line. And bring it back down the side of the body. Across the chest. Good, and then we're gonna rub the chest and the solar plexus, like right where the ribs open, and then the belly. And then we'll get the back of the hips, so a little lean forward. We're gonna pat our sacrum, and then bring it out into your glutes. And then we're gonna take it down the back of the legs. Feel free to bend those knees as you come down, and then bring it up the inside. So feel that energy kind of flow around. We're gonna take it down the outside, and up the inside, and then down the front, and up the inside. And we're gonna rotate our ribs to the left, to the right, left, right, and rub the belly. Got those hip circles coming up, so hands on your hips, feet can go a little bit wider, and we're going all the way around the barrel. Nice, so if you've got 5 minutes and you just wanna wake your body up, this is an awesome 5 minutes to do. Go ahead and switch it around. Get everything moving. Good. All right, and then we're gonna get into those hands and wrists a little bit. So let's make a fist and open them wide. And then we are gonna start doing some movement on our hands and wrists today. So I wanna stretch that out to get us prepped. So let's go ahead and interlace the hands together. And we're gonna press through the palms. Really feel as if you're almost trying to pull your fingers apart. Relax your shoulders and then really shine your palms forward. Get that stretch in your hands and your fingers. And then we'll bring it back towards our chest, rotate our palms up, and then the elbows drop down. And we're just gonna go back and forth a few times. Good, and then on the next one, I'm gonna hold it out, my elbows stay a little soft. And again, I'm imagining I'm pulling apart my hands a little bit, and I'm gonna relax the shoulders and take it up overhead a few times. When we take those arms up overhead, let's make sure we're not compensating by lifting the ribs. We wanna keep that nice posture and just allow the arms to move in the sockets. Good, next time we take it up overhead, I want you to lift your ribs up and over to the right, open up that side body, and come back through center, drop those shoulders, lift your ribs up and over to the left. Good, bring it down. And now we're gonna do that same combo, but we're gonna interlace our hands the other way. So it'll feel a little more awkward this way usually. So we'll go out, palms up, elbows down. And this is great for you to do, especially if you've been working on that keyboard or your phone. Let's keep it out, up and down, gently trying to pull your fingers apart. Do you feel how when you're trying to pull your fingers apart, how it connects you into your shoulders and your upper back? Good. All right, keep it up. Let's go up and over to the left, side stretch. And then up and over to the right. Amazing, bring it down. And we're gonna do a roll down out into a plank hold. Okay, we're starting pretty tough today. We've got our happy hold it days with a plank. So we'll start, and if you need to take your knees, feel free, but we're gonna take it up. And another option for this, if you don't wanna go to the ground, is to grab your chair and put your hands on your chair and take a plank on your chair instead. So let's knot the chin and just start to roll down our spine, one vertebrae at a time. Take your time here, feel your belly lift. If you need to soften your knees, go for it. Get yourself down to the ground. Let your head hang. Take a moment here. And we're gonna walk our hands out in 4 counts. So I'm gonna take my right hand out, then my left, and now I'm setting up for my plank. My right, and then my left hand comes in alignment under my shoulders. Nice, let's try to find this nice long line from the crown of the head all the way down through the heels. So kind of feel those heels stretching away and the crown of the head reaching. Feel free to take it down to your knees if you need. Inner thighs feel like they're gently spiraling to the ground. Your low belly or your navel feels like it's drawing up on a diagonal line towards your shoulder blades. And then at the very top of your arm bones, let's spiral the elbows towards your hip points so the pit of your elbow shines straight forward. And then let's check in with that breath. Use that inhale like a hot air balloon to suspend you here. Feel the lift under the ribs. I'm keeping you here for 15 more seconds. That's it, guys. You're almost there. Done with our hold for the day. In 5, we're gonna walk it back to our feet. In 3, 2, 1. Let's take 4 steps back with the hands. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel free to bend your knees or keep them straight. And now let's roll up the spine. Okay, I'm warmed up. I don't know about you guys. 2 more, but this time we're not gonna hold our plank. We're gonna do a little different. So let's round it down. And we're gonna walk it out again. So let's walk it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome, good. I promise I won't make you hold a plank. I'm gonna have you step your right foot forward to the outside of your right hand and get that nice low hip flexor stretch, like low lunge. If needed, the knee can touch down. From here, take that right hand and rotate up to the sky. Press your arms away from each other. Take a breath. Come back through center. Step both feet back into your plank. Soften your knees, lift your hips, and come back into a little bend knee downward dog. Stretch it out. Now let's come back forward. Take the left foot just to the outside of the left arm. Feel free to stay elevated on the back leg or drop the knee. Right hand's imprinting into the ground. Left arm's gonna twist open. Good. And let's do that 2 more times each side. We're gonna flow a little quicker. So bend the knees, lift it up, take it back. Right foot steps forward. Right arm stretches to the sky. bring it back. Both feet step back, soften the knees, lift the hips, draw that low belly in, left foot steps forward. Awesome, we've got one more each side. Getting that full body moving. And of course, you can do this in several ways. You could also just take it back to your knees and take a child's pose. Yeah? All right, last one. All right, take your plank, walk it back. You've got 4, 3, 2, 1, and roll it up. That one got a little crazy for me. Last one. Taking it down, we're gonna do 8 little push-ups. So come on down, walk it out to your plank. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel free to stay upward or bring your knees down. Wrap your elbows in. Just soften your elbows towards your hips. Small little presses for 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit it back. Rotate your palms up. Relax into a quick stretch here. Good. Let's roll those hands up for a second. Roll those wrists out. And we're gonna come into a 4-point kneel position, setting up for our bird dog. So we're gonna bring our hands underneath our shoulders again, and knees underneath your hips. Just be aware that you're not too far out in front. Really try to stack it here. And give me that nice long spine. So I'm not rounding here, and I'm not letting my ribs drop. Think about your tailbone and your crown of your head stretching away from each other. At the same time, a hammock is coming under the ribs and supporting underneath the ribs. And that hammock is your transverse abdominis. You are working and lifting from the center of your body. Let's soften our breath here. And then just for a moment, we'll warm up that left hip. So we're gonna lift our left leg up and bring it out to the side, and we're gonna do a couple of circles in one direction. Get some movement in that hip. Your goal here as you take these circles is not to let yourself slide over to the right at all. And then let's go the other direction. Good, really holding your center. Last 2. And 1, nice, bring it down. Good. From here, we're gonna go into a 2-point balance. We're gonna let your right arm absorb into your right shoulder, and your left thigh absorb up into your left hip socket. From here, I want you to stretch both away from each other, focusing on length. Like someone's trying to shake your right hand, but glide that right shoulder down the back, and then really stretch long through the left leg. From here, we're gonna keep our back nice and flat and just bring the elbow towards the knee. You don't need to touch it. Go back to long extension. Don't worry about height. Focus on holding yourself centered. Good. All right, and then we'll add a little variation here. Next time you take it out, we're gonna now round our spine. So I want you to start by lifting under your ribs. Let your head relax down. Really scoop up under, and then draw the knee towards the elbow. And then lengthen it back out. Feel the stretch. Let's do that 3 more times. So lift under the ribs, let the head relax. Let's bring the knee to the elbow, and then send it long. Stretch it away. 2 more times. Lift. And reach. Go nice and slow. How is that supporting arm? Keep wrapping the elbow towards your hip so we're not letting the elbow fly out to the side. Good, last one here. Hands come down. And we're gonna make our way onto our backs, okay? I'm gonna turn this way. Now we're gonna lie flat for a moment and do a little core work. So if you find that you need some support underneath the head, feel free to bring a little blanket of support underneath, okay? You don't absolutely need to have it, just wanna give it to you if you need it. From here, we're gonna find our neutral. So our hip points are shining straight up to the sky. Our tailbone feels heavy, and the back of our ribs are down. There may or may not be a space underneath your low back, but I don't want you to jam your back into the ground. I want you to find length and keep that length as we move here. Now from here, think about your right thigh bone sinking into the hip socket and draw it up into tabletop. So we're really connecting into our center. And then same thing, can we bring the left leg up? If you did that nice and slow, you're already feeling that core turn on. Now let's send the arms up to the sky, reaching the fingertips like you're reaching beyond the ceiling. And at the same time the fingertips are reaching beyond the ceiling, take your shoulders and really sink them into the back. Nice, now we're gonna go on just the left. So the left leg and the right arm are now gonna stretch in oppositional reach, just like we did when we were in our 4-point kneel. Send it away. Don't let that disturb your pelvis. Bring it back. Let's do that 3 more times. So reach it long. And bring it back. And if this right leg floating is too aggressive for you, you can feel free to bring it down. And then also, you don't have to take that left leg all the way long if it's too aggressive. Hold the next one here. Now we're gonna nod the chin and we're gonna curl gently up under the lowest rib to curl up for 4. Bring it back down. For 3, and down. And 2, and down. And 1, and down, and bring the arm and leg back, and then we'll touch both legs down, bring our arms down, and we're gonna go into a bridge here. So let's imprint our feet into the ground, and imprint your arms into the ground as well. And we're gonna think about sending our knees nice and long over the toes as we start to lift our hips up, really engaging with the glutes, as we take it up to the top. When you get to the top, really try to open up the front of those hip flexors there by lifting under the glutes. And then the other thing that happens a lot is like our legs will want to fall apart. So imagine there's an imaginary yoga block between those inner thighs. Keep even weight on your foot, right? So don't let the energy go out to the pinky line. Keep the big toe pressing as well. And hold up there for a moment. You can imagine that your feet are trying to slide away from you, and that's gonna help turn on your glutes a little bit more. Good, and then let's just lower it back down. Let's do that 3 more times. Sending the knees long, floating the hips up, engaging under the glutes, and take it back down. 2 more times. Good, last one, we're gonna hold it up and we're gonna start to transfer our weight. And from here, I want you to think about all of your energy going into the left foot, all of the weight sinking into the left foot. But without moving your hips to the side, can you float the right leg up into tabletop? And then bring it back down, shifting all of the weight into the right, but the pelvis stays still. We'll bring the left leg up and in. Okay, so you could do this fast, but you're probably wiggling your hips side to side. Do your best to hold it steady. And if it's too aggressive to lift it all the way, just peel one heel up and then down. You can kind of modify it here. You can also gently hold your hips if you need. It might also be a nice way of knowing that you are keeping them stable. Good. Shifting and transferring. For 4, and 3, and 2, and last one, and we'll bring it down, and then we'll bring both hips back down. Now we're gonna repeat our crisscross or that dead bug on the other side. So let's get into our neutral, bring the left hip into the socket, floating it up into tabletop. Bring the right leg up to meet it. Back of the ribs are down, arms are extending through the sky, shoulders are relaxed. Right leg, left arm, reach. Go long away from each other. And fold it back in. 2 more times. Really stretching long, and then low if you can, but if it's too low, you can just keep it a little higher. 2 more. Feeling that diagonal reach and what's happening in your center. All right, we're holding the next one out, and now we're gonna add the rib curl. So from underneath the lowest rib, nod the chin, curl up, and down. 3 more. Up and down. 2 more. Last one. Bring it in, bring it down. Amazing. Let's come back up into our 4-point kneel position. We're gonna hit that bird dog on the other side. So making our way back to our hands and our knees. Good. Before we start doing it, let's just do a little cat-cow. And when we do this cat-cow, let's really think about the lift under the ribs and then the lengthening through the spine. Yeah, because that's what we're gonna do in just a moment as we take it into that bird dog, right? All right, let's find that long spine. Ribs are hovering. Watch these elbows, right? Wrap them in. Feel that strong connection into your upper back. Okay, first let's start with our hip. So we're gonna bring our right hip up and we're gonna circle. I'll turn it around here for us. So we're gonna go circle it around in one direction. And then the other. Good, and now let's find our center. We're gonna gently plug the left arm into the left shoulder socket and the right leg's gonna hover. So I'm on 2 points right now. Let's stretch away from our middle line, reach long, and then keeping a flat back, we're gonna draw elbow towards the knee. They don't need to touch. Think about suspending yourself with your breath. Good, hold it out. Now we're gonna add the rounded spine. So begin with the lift under the ribs. Keep lifting under the ribs and then draw the knee towards the elbow. Again, they don't have to touch. They may not. That's not your goal. Your goal is to really lift underneath and find that connection in the belly. Last one. Reach it long and bring it down. Awesome, guys. Okay, we're gonna come back onto our into our mermaid sit here. Get those hips before we come onto our back. So let's find our 90-90 sit or our mermaid sit here, and we're going to do our reach and rotate. So I'm going to rotate my ribs, looking over my left knee, and I'm gonna stretch my left arm long. When I get to the top, both hands can come behind me and I'm gonna swivel my legs to the other side and then reach my right arm nice and long. Good, let's do that a few times, each side, and just find a nice little rhythm for yourself. Or if you wanna hang out in a stretch for a little bit longer, feel free. Oh man, this feels good to me. I could be here all day, but let's just do one more stretch on each side. And then we're gonna take it to our backs. Awesome, guys. All right, so we're gonna lie on our back, and feel free to bring a little pillow underneath the base of your skull so you feel nice and flat. And now we're gonna get into a little nerve glide here. So I want you to keep that neutral that we were focusing on, that nice long spine. Again, I want you to try to avoid tucking your back into the ground. Keep it long. Now let's bring the right leg into our hands. If this is too hard for you to get into this position, take a strap behind your leg to help support you and hold it here. And then we're gonna go up. So we're gonna take the leg up and then flex through the heel and bring it back down. And then relax the foot again. So take it up, stretch, flex, and bring it down. And it's okay if your leg doesn't straighten all the way. You're still working through that hamstring. And this is really great stretch here if you have sciatica, or if you're really tight in the back line here. Okay, we're gonna switch it up. So we're gonna come up with the flex foot. So lead through the heel and then relax the foot and bring it down. All the while trying to maintain that nice neutral spine without letting your low back tuck into the ground. Good. Now let's take this right leg, place the right ankle on top of the left knee, and turn the right leg out. So let's work into that external rotation and into the hip. And then if it's available here, we're gonna grab behind the left thigh and bring the leg in and just rock a little side to side. Awesome. Find that tight spot you want to hold a little bit longer. Let's really try to drop the tailbone down. Keep that length in the spine. And just take a nice soft breath in and out. Awesome. I want you to go ahead and drop both legs down. And we're going to move both of our hips over to the left. And we're going to roll onto our side now. Let's try to make our whole body nice and stacked. So our knees are really stacked. So look at your knees, because if one's in front of the other, let's get them on top. And then let's send the arms out. We're gonna do a little book opener stretch. So we're gonna take that left arm, I rolled onto my right side, and I'm gonna take my left arm to the sky, and I'm gonna reach it back as much as I can. I get a little twist in the ribs, open up the chest. We're doing that without moving the top hip. Check your knees. If your knees come uneven, you've probably moved your top hip. So go back and find that stretch, and then let's take it back down. So we're gonna inhale, open, and exhale, bring it back down. Keeping those hips stacked. Okay, and then we're gonna circle it. So let's take it overhead like a clock, circle it around, bring it back. One more time, and then we'll switch directions. Good, let's go the other way. Amazing, all right. Let's switch it to the other side. So we'll go right into the book again. So we'll come back into the book opener. So come down onto your left side, bring your knees out in front, and right arm reaches forward. And we're gonna keep our knees nice and stacked, so go ahead and check them. Make sure they're aligned, your hips are stacked, and we're gonna take the right arm back. Oh, I just got a nice little crack on that adjustment there. Good. In and out of the nose. Amazing, let's take those circles. So let's just take it over and around. And switch directions. Awesome, roll onto your back. Let's do our nerve glide on our left thigh. So find that neutral, bring the left thigh in, relax the foot, we'll send it up, flex, bring it down. And let's switch it. So keep it flexed and send it up, point, and down. Up, point, and down. Good, last one. Let's take that left ankle on top of the right, turn the knee out. You can keep a little flexed ankle in the left. Give the leg a little turn out. And this might be enough of a stretch for you. You can definitely stay here, or take your hands behind your right thigh and then rock a little side to side. Try to get the weight in your sacrum rather than in your low back and your low spine. So kind of drop that tailbone down a little bit instead of crunching in. See if you can find more length here. Find that tight spot. Let's hold and breathe. Awesome, bring it down. Let's extend both arms and legs out. Just take a final big stretch here. And then we'll roll to the side. Use your hands to prop you up.